Time for another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Stewart. We are in New Year's week, and a programming note, we will not have a show on Thursday, New Year's Day, but we will be back with another show on January 2nd. Coming up today on Local Roots, we're going to learn a little bit more about the Pottawattamie County Trails Association as we welcome both Connie Casson and Joe Munch into the studio. And you're going to see a little bit of a different look here because we're experimenting with a multi-cam format and just kind of testing the waters, if you will, to see some of the different things that we are going to be able to do. And hopefully, eventually, we will move full-time into a multi-cam setting. But we're trying it out today on Local Roots. Again, Connie Casson and Joe Munch with the Pottawattamie County Trails Association joining us today. On Local Roots, we explore the places that make our region home and the people who keep them connected. That is why we are proud to feature Marnie Elkhorn Communications, your local communications provider, serving Marnie, Elkhorn, Walnut, Avoca, and other Southwest Iowa towns with high-speed fiber internet, reliable phone service, and TV options built for rural living. With real local support and unlimited data plans, you get speeds up to 1 gig to work, stream, and stay in touch with family and neighbors. Visit metc.net to learn more and get connected today. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installation. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit waldsteinplumbing.com for a free estimate. A completely different look at the studios on Willow as we have moved into a different studio to welcome a couple of folks from the Pottawattamie County Trails Association. This is Joe Munch. This is Connie Casson. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for all of the work that you're doing. Joe, I just recently saw one of your live Facebook reports from the end of where construction was at and giving an update on what's going on out there. It looks like there's been a lot of progress.
There has been a lot of progress, especially this last year. It's going to be kind of a game changer for us, I think. But yeah, we made a lot this year.
So all of this obviously has taken a ton of work over the years. It's taken a ton of money up to this point. But I think it would be an accurate way to describe it, kind of a labor of love for both of you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
We're not making any money off of it, that's for sure.
It is vexing work at the best, but we're in good community, and I think it's going to be a huge difference maker for our communities. Like, I can't wait till it connects to where I live.
That's right.
I remember, Joe, when you and I first met and we were having a conversation about this, and part of what you were dealing with back then was land acquisition.
Yes.
But it sounds like a lot of those hurdles have already been cleared.
For this next section, it has. Clear is kind of, in air quotes, but we're down to, I believe, like 1.5 pieces of property left to get somebody to put a signature to, and that would clear the section between Weston, where we end on the north end, to Underwood. So that piece, critical piece for us, is almost squared away. It's all but the legal work is done with it now.
With what has already been created, is there use happening now? Is it open for that part of it?
Yeah, there's been use always. As soon as we had pavement on the ground, and this is kind of one of the funniest things I always think is that we have this trail that starts in the middle of nowhere and it goes to the middle of nowhere. And every time you drive by, there's people using it nearly every time that you drive by. And in many ways, people bicycle on it, they're walking. You can see families, you see, older couples. It's really amazing. And once it connects,
there's a real community
there really
too.
is.
Like, we did an event last fall just to see who was out there. So we called it a trail stop. And we had, 40 users who stopped by for a happy hour, and just to talk about, why do you use the trail? What do you hope that we do next? Like, what works, what doesn't? What are your priorities? And just, it was amazing to see how many people knew each other, how many people knew as much about our organization, Pot County Trails Association, as we did.
Right.
And I think there are avid users on our 4.5 miles of trail now, and as the dots connect, which will happen in 26 and more in 27, I think it's just gonna like the snowball will roll bigger and bigger.
How far back does this go? When this was just still an idea in people's minds, where were you at then with it?
Well, so I can't say where we were exactly then. Initially, it was about 2012, and Brian Shea, our county supervisor, Mark Shoemaker, who was at the time the county conservation director, and Chad Gravy was a ranger out to Crescent, I believe. It was kind of their idea. And Brian at the time, I don't believe he was the mayor of Crescent before he was the supervisor, but I don't believe he was even elected then yet. And so it was kind of their first idea. And then leading into 2013, started to kind of gel and became a thing. And that's, I recently was kind of reviewing some of our old meeting minutes. And about June of 2013 is our first real documentation of anything. And Brian was our first chairman then. And how it really initially started was those guys kind of came together as a group, and they organized a number of map development. So they went to Mineola and Avoca, Oakland, I believe, a couple other communities, and they just had large maps of the county, and they just asked the public to come in and draw lines. Where would you like to see a trail? So they combined those trails or those drawings and took it back to the county engineer's office, and they, kind of overlaid what the common routes were and came up with what became the county's trail plan, official trail plan. And that's what we use to work off of now. So 2012, 2013, we incorporated in 2014, and we became a 501c3, I think, in 2015. So been working on it steady every single month since then.
So those routes that were drawn up back then are still the ones you're following today?
Yeah.
There hasn't really been a need to make any changes or anything else identified that
we have a really ambitious plan.
We absolutely do. Our 5 miles is of 120 miles of incorporated into the plan of just the main routes. And then there's a number of, part B's, C's, and D's of different
spurs off of things. But if you think of the master plan as a bike trail that would connect all the county parks.
Oh, yeah. That would be phenomenal.
And
it'd be phenomenal. I mean, how exciting would it be to be able to camp all your way around the county or just visit all those towns and parks via bike?
Right.
It'd be fabulous. But we're at 5 miles so far.
Right. That's right.
Well, everything, it's a step-by-step process, and you can't, I don't know, who was it? Was it Spock that said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step? You're past a single step now, but you're in it, and you are making the progress, and people can start to see real results from the work you've done.
Yeah. For sure.
It takes an incredible coalition. So if we think about the alignment of supervisors and conservation, I would add engineers. Mm-hmm. We are the nonprofit partner that is organizing and we hold meetings that brings people to the table. We have incredible partners with Golden Hills, RC&D.
Yes.
I can't remember, conservation and can't remember, but they're lovely. And Angie Remington is their new executive director. Lance Brisboy works for them. Lance has been at the table
always since
forever.
the beginning, nearly. I mean, except for the first couple of meetings, he's been involved.
Yeah, Iowa West has been a partner. We work really closely with Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. So they're Des Moines based, and they are doing trail development all across Iowa. So they've been incredible in helping us figure out, yes, it really is this hard everywhere. And yes, the average of $1 million a mile is
ridiculous.
Pretty common. It is ridiculous, but it's pretty common. And so just keep the faith and keep it moving. And here's good examples of what's happening around the state. So that coalition is one that we've kept going for a while, and together a bunch of those partners have funded a position. So in the last few months, we hired a trail coordinator who will be the single point of contact. His name's Charlie Schilling, and I'm super excited about him starting and, this being his job rather than your volunteer work and passion and mine.
Right. Yeah. And it is a lot of work. And, over the years, we, continually as volunteers, you have to force it to happen, it seems like. And, balls drop and you lose track of where you are. And this hopefully was going to be the wind in our sails to continue to make, marked progress rather than incremental and sporadic progress. So
Has there been any unexpected challenges that came up that was just, okay, we have to pause here and figure out how we're going to clear this one because we weren't anticipating this?
There have been plenty. Financing is always a thing. Like we said, it's very, very expensive, and to get those dollars and find out where it's coming from. Land acquisition has been very challenging at points. There's some times where it stalled us out, honestly, but we've gotten past those in many ways, and I'm sure it will come again as we progress around the county. But it's just part of the progress, part of the process too.
Do you think that as you've made progress, it's helped with the land acquisition, that some of the owners can see, oh, they're serious about this, and here's the result? So it's no longer just a concept; it's an actual tangible thing that they can wrap their minds around a little easier.
And that's a critical piece.
I think so, and there's another little piece that has happened in 2025 that I thought has been a really joyful process. So we had an Eagle Scout who had the idea to put benches along the trail. So it's just one of those things where for those landowners who didn't know if this would get anywhere and would this be a mile of concrete in the middle of, my farm,
right?
And it never goes anywhere to anywhere. Now we have this community of users, and we have 3 benches along the way and plans for more. So it really is becoming this community of people who are using the trails, not just for, biking. And the grand scheme is that this is part of the Great American Rail Trail, which is a super exciting part. It goes from DC to Washington State, and it's a little bit over half done coast to coast. And our trail along Railroad Highway is part of that. So circling back to our Eagle Scouts project, like we've got a little slice of heaven that's part of something bigger.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be fun when all of that is completed and that entire coast to coast is completed, because then you know what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people that want to do the entire way, and it's bringing them right. through our towns.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's across the region, and we can highlight some of the topography that we have with the Luss Hills that I think we know what they are and appreciate. But how many other places in the country know? And so when you've got somebody walking through on foot or biking through, going coast to coast, they're going to see it up close. And suddenly, oh, wait a minute, we had no idea this was here.
Right.
And it's going to be huge for the region. I think I can see this really increasing tourism.
Absolutely. I think, giving people a reason to be here and stop here can be a big driver. Yes. And it's not just waiting for Ragbri to come through, but just that the people who are on a quest, like hiking the Appalachian Trail or something like that, like if they see the Great American Rail Trail as one of those tourism those personal challenges, and they find out how beautiful our corner of the world is, I think that'll be great.
Right. And then, the other aspect of it is not just that national and regional thing. It is local too. I got involved with this, honestly, because I was involved with the city council in Mineola. And, placemaking at that time was a very huge thing for us and continues to be. But, the idea is we don't, everyone has heard this a million times, I think, but we don't have mountains, we don't have oceans, but we do have a lot of beautiful things. And this trail will provide an opportunity for us to showcase those. And then also on top of that, it's going to provide opportunities for more connections locally. Like, imagine your family riding their bicycle down to Underwood to get some ice cream cone or something like that, or just connecting your communities rather than having these isolated identities. It's going to provide an opportunity for them to gel more as a collaborative effort between us.
And as more and more people begin to use the trail, I can see this popping up new businesses.
Absolutely.
Because there's going to be a need. Like you said, getting the ice cream cone. There might be an additional ice cream shop in Underwood after that happens. There's going to need to be like a bicycle service station, if you will.
That's right.
For sure. That's part of the plans.
Yeah.
Right.
So all of this together it's growing the economy. It's growing the small communities. I've been preaching for the last year about the growth that we have seen, especially in Pottawattamie County and the smaller communities. Right. It's inspiring.
It is.
Watching these communities come together, and not just individually on their own, but as a group. And what you're doing is tying these places together.
Right. That's right. And then, the other thing is retention is, another key thing, that the world competes with everything, and we have to provide opportunities and assets and amenities for people who, young people who are graduating from high school and graduating from college and possibly leaving, and giving them a reason to come back and making it more reasonable for them to want to be here instead of, have the draw of the city to pull them away or some other location.
What are some of the things you've been doing to be able to raise money? Because like $1 million a mile is a lot. So that has to be an ongoing project, always looking for big donations, but I don't know that big donations are going to cover that entire bill.
No.
So we have relied on state money, some federal money, some local foundation money for the development so far. But I think what the Pottawattamie County Trails Association tries to do is like really cultivate that community. So our biggest fundraiser is coming up January 17th. Mm-hmm. It's called Ullrfest. So Ullr is the Norse god of winter. That weekend is statistically the coldest of the year. So
so we have that to look forward to.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Your muffler and your mittens, but there's a bike ride, there's an auction, there's a dinner at Toby Jack's in Mineola. It's a really fun event.
It is a great time.
And it's our biggest of the year. So we are really trying to make sure that people know what's going on. They have an opportunity to access our Facebook page and website for information, and that Joe is tireless in his outreach to just talk about the trails and what it takes to make that happen. Because it is $1 million a mile doesn't just happen. And it takes the coalition of landowners who can see this opportunity, volunteers like us who are trying to, keep the ball rolling, and then our grant writing friends and elected representatives and county employees that are helping make this happen too.
Right. Yeah. And, that's what Ullr, we have a couple other events. We have, one of our volunteers, he's an avid runner and bicyclist, but he coordinates 2 different running events, one in the spring in April and the other one in the fall, October. The fall one is an obstacle course. Those are both held at Arrowhead County Park. And then we have another ride that we did traditionally for a long time, Biketober. We used to have it on the 100 block, and now we have it down near the viaduct. Kind of resurrected it, so hopefully next year it'll be a little bit more than it was. But that's another continuing fundraiser, and we have a little bit of room. We hope if we could get 4 to 5 consistent events, those dollars help us. They're really not building the trail, but what they do is they provide the funds that we need to hire grant writers and help pay for engineering. We can, leverage the 501c3 in ways that the governments can't to try and incentivize things if they need to be. So that's what that money really does for us.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, just a lot in order to be able to pull something off like this. Joe, I wanted to ask you, again, circling back to when you and I first met, I sensed at that time you were a little bit frustrated about the progress and what was happening.
Just then,
Right. But what
what
I mean by that, though, is something kept you going. Something kept you with your eyes on a goal on the horizon. What was that? What was it that was saying, I'm not giving this up. I'm not going to let the obstacles stop me from continuing?
Well, it truly is community, honestly. Like I said, I was born and raised in Council Bluffs. My wife is from Mineola, and that's where we've decided to raise our children. And I was heavily invested with the city there. And it, through that, it became apparent to me that you have to proactively foster these things. And the whole concept of the trail, I'm not a bicyclist. I'm not a runner. I've walked on it only to inspect it to see how progress is going. But these kinds of things are critical in order to maintain our communities and to continue to build them and to make them stable. That's one of the things that I hope that the message that we can bring to the folks that we need to partner with us as far as land acquisition or further trail development, to help them understand what it is. It really boils down to community. It has nothing to do with a trail, not necessarily, but it's all about community, retaining your community, building your school districts, getting houses built in your communities, all of those things. And time again, trails has rated very highly in what people are asking for the amenities in the communities that they live in. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're providing it. And at least until it gets at least halfway across our county or connected to the other side of the county, I expect to be involved with it. as long as I'm breathing. I don't know.
With the 120 miles total, that is the ultimate goal. Is that just a big loop? Is there spurs coming off of it? Or how
Both. Both. So the loop, basically, it will touch every community within the county, with the exception of McClellan and Carter Lake. And there's ideas of how to make that happen. But we got a long way to go. That's right. She is.
Is that another bridge going across the Missouri? Is that what
potentially.
we're seeing?
There's a really nice railroad bridge that I have my eye on all of the time.
Yeah.
But so it will be a big loop, and then a few spots will have a spur, and then kind of going up to Crescent and Crescent Hill and Hitchcock Park. And then there's another aspect that we should kind of talk about. Early on in this, we developed an idea called FIT, Frontier Iowa Trail System. And the concept of that was to tie together all of the other counties, because that's another big piece is tying our county, that's our focus, Pottawattamie County, but Harrison County is working on it, Mills County. All of the neighboring counties are doing similar projects. We're probably quite a ways ahead of them, but they have it in the works. So it will connect those two. There's spurs going up those ways. But yeah, big loop.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen. You have a 120-mile loop. Some guy is going to invent a race. It's going to happen.
Right? Why not?
So fun.
That's right.
It sounds like a long way to go on a bike trail, but still, I'm excited for the work that you've done. It's good to see you guys making this kind of progress, and I can tell that you got a feeling of satisfaction right now just from the stage that you're at, and it's well earned. So congratulations on everything you've done so far. The details again about the date of the next fundraiser coming up, you said January 17th?
That's right.
Saturday, January 17th, Ullrfest, Toby Jack's in Mineola is home base. And we have information on our Facebook page, which is Pottawattamie County Trails Association. So there is a bike ride and a meal and a live auction and silent auction on that day.
Raffles as well.
Right.
And then we also be bringing down a cash machine, and we'll do that a few times during the event.
It's very Price is Right-ish.
It really is Price is Right. But it's a good time. You can
Or Minute to Win It.
You know what? To kind of dovetail on that, we're hoping people come dressed up as their favorite biking god this year too. So along the lines of Price is Right, you can get dressed up and come on down.
Okay, sorry, Packers fans. No, somebody popped
Not
in
NFL Viking. We're talking European Vikings.
No, it's going to be a fun event. Ticketed event, is that something they need to go to buy tickets for?
The bike ride is.
The bike ride is? Okay.
Yep, the rest of the event is open to the public.
All right. Well, that is all coming up, and we'll get the links into the description, and also continue to share that as the days get closer on the show. So grateful to both of you for coming in. Joe Munch, Connie Casson. I'm thrilled of all the progress so far. Can't wait to see the next part. And let's get to Underwood.
Yeah, let's get to Underwood.
And on from there.
Great.
Sounds good. Thanks.
you.
What do you think of the multi-cam view? Should we sink a little money into it and be able to do that full time? More than a little money. But we were able to pull this off today. And if you like the look of that, I would encourage you to get in touch with Kyle Ranney at Tail Slate Agency. He can help your business grow. And this is just one of the ways he does it is through videos. So again, reaching out to Kyle Ranney at Tail Slate Agency here at the studios on Willow. We're looking forward to seeing you at our open house coming up on January 15th. The Jetty Edmondson Foundation believes healthcare goes beyond hospital walls. Through its Caring for Our Communities initiative, the foundation helps high-risk, low-income, and underserved individuals access resources that remove barriers to better health and long-term well-being. Each year, the foundation also brings the community together through Dance for the Beat, a signature event that raises critical funds for uninsured and underinsured heart patients. Those funds help provide treatment, medication, rehabilitation, and life-saving support. Learn more, get involved, and support the mission at jehfoundation.org. And start your day right at Brewed Awakening in Avoca, open Monday through Saturday, always serving something fresh. Enjoy bagels daily, weekly specials that you will not find on the menu, and warm seasonal soups every Tuesday and Wednesday. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, grab a hot breakfast sandwich and treat yourself to something sweet every Friday. If you're hosting a meeting or gathering, Brewed Awakening has a private room ready for your group free to use if you don't need it all to yourself. Stop in for great coffee, good food, and a friendly hometown atmosphere. A Brewed Awakening in Avoca. Thanks again, Connie and Joe, for joining us today from the Pottawattamie County Trails Association. Wonderful information, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progress that continues as we get these trails built here in Pottawattamie County. That's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.